I
Keep
love that jam.
Keep it going.
I love that jam. I just don't want it to stop. It's too,
Yeah.
it's too quick, man. Where's that extended remix?
You know,
man?
we're gonna have
Get that
to
kick drum
put
in
this
there.
up. We got to make this available to the folks. I mean,
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I think
That's
it's worth putting out there.
That was the custom V.I.B. theme song you just heard.
That's great. And you know, we have a 45-minute version of it, which we cut that.
45-minute. Wow. Wow, that's like
Michael
Grateful
Bluestein.
Dead, Jim. Yeah, Bruce Watson.
Wow, man. Would you agree that summer has revealed itself here in L.A.? Like it's pretty,
Wow. Just
very
like
nice, but on the verge of hot.
Whew, yeah, just like we knew it would, man. The AC's kicking in here. Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, man.
So, and I can't tell behind you. I can't tell if you are representing Starry Night or if you're an American.
You know
Or
what?
Both. It's both.
You know, those two things are not mutually exclusive, my friend.
As it turns out.
You can be a proud American and also be a Van Gogh enthusiast,
Oh,
right?
you want to tell the story about the guy we met in New York that time? Remember?
Oh my God. This is a great story. Okay, we had no idea this was going to happen.
No.
Bruce and I are in Times Square. We're off near Times Square, this hotel we were staying at, doing a little day drinking.
Research.
And I'm thinking of you. Yeah, just definitely just checking out local beers, you know, because that's part of our job. And we're in this bar, and this guy, overheard us talking, looked over, and he comes over and says, "Man, y'all look like a couple rock stars. What you all about, you know?" And we told him, "Yeah, we're on tour. We're here with a band, and here with Foreigner, and we've got a day off, so we're just hanging out, having some beers, and we do music." And he's like, "Oh man, that's cool. I'm an artist too. Man, it's a struggle doing art, man. Being an artist is a struggle. I mean, think about it. Beethoven cut off his ear."
And that has lived in infamy. Oh, man.
Yeah, I love how we went from Van Gogh's Starry Night. That was a really good, because Van Gogh is actually the one who, I don't know if he cut the whole thing off, but what part of it? He severed part of his ear, or?
Yeah, I think he clipped the whole outer. Well,
a sizable amount of more ear than anyone should ever cut off.
A lot of cartilage that will never grow back.
It's not like the squirrel tail or the the lizard thing.
And in case there's some young people watching the show, like Beethoven was deaf, but he still composed, and Van Gogh cut off his ear. So there was the gentleman we were speaking with had he did a mashup, a cultural mashup. So anyway, that was good.
Which we thank him very much for, because here it is, easily 7 years later.
Yeah.
And it's a staple on the bus. Mm-hmm. It's a tour bus. It's a road staple that we always come back to. And that's the way we want it, man. Dude, I have to say, I'm really digging the backdrop you got there. That's classy stuff, man. I mean, come on. 2 of the spotlights. I mean, what's going on? I'm waiting for the burlesque dancers to come out. When are they coming up?
I mean, I'm here to.
Okay, now that's the classier version. See where my mind didn't go there. That just shows
it out of the gutter.
Yeah, you're a classier guy than I did. I was thinking, ladies. I was thinking tassels. I'm seeing the tassels spinning.
Oh my God, dude!
Hold on. Wait a minute.
But dude, that leads directly to.
Oh my God!
All the inside stuff is off the chain.
All the things.
Shall we take another direction? And I would like to ask what you're drinking today.
Okay, so I'm so glad you asked that, and I would like to show you something that I just discovered, which I'm really happy about. See this guy? Can you read that?
Yeah, sure can. Nitro Irish Stout. Yeah.
It's a Nitro Irish Stout by Breckenridge Brewery out of Colorado. And I just happened to discover this yesterday when I was stocking up. And it's really nice. It's definitely got a little more character than your Guinness, It's sort of as much as we love Guinness in a can, that's a staple. This is sort of like got a little more like a nuttiness about it, which is good because we're a couple nutty guys, No, it's good.
And the fact that it's on nitro, which for those of you who don't know, most of the beers are with CO2, And this Guinness, the reason why it tastes so lovely and smooth in those tiny little bubbles is because it's gassed with nitro instead of CO2.
Right.
Not nitrous.
Not nitrous. Yeah, well, that would give you an extra buzz, wouldn't it?
That's like from get to when the bars close, then you go to nitrous.
You want to start with a nitro. Yeah. So Breckenridge Brewery, I don't know much about them, but I have to say I'm a fan of this. It's nice. It's good stuff, and a good stout once in a while. Not a bad thing.
We're both rolling with the dark stuff.
So please tell me what you got.
This is a brewery, a brand and a brewery that we're familiar with, and a country that we're familiar with. It's Einstock, a toasted porter from Iceland.
They have that downstairs at my market, and I've been very curious about it. I haven't tried it. What do you think?
It's very Well, I like it much better. They have a lager or a pale ale that we see often, and they have a Wit beer. But this is excellent. This is really really good. It reminds me of a German Schwarzbier. Schwarzbier.
Schwarzbier.
Schwarz.
Yep. Schwarz. Yeah. Dark.
Yeah. It might be that, but a little nuttier and toastier. But it's very effervescent. And
really nice. Yeah, I've been curious. Lovely. Well, you very
clocking
cool.
at 6% alcohol, and let me just make sure that I'm not sure it still tastes good. Hang on a second.
Yeah, here, check it out. Let me reinvestigate my Irish stout here by Breckenridge Brewery.
Let's save this move for when we get our special guest on. We have a special guest tonight. Really
funny
special.
You should mention that.
Yeah, man.
This guy's kind of a big deal, I have to say.
And he's my personal friend. I mean, and how do you feel about your relationship?
And we've been on the road together for over 12 years now. Yeah. Absolutely friends at this point.
Should we bring this dude on? Go, Meg. Take it, Michael.
Dude, okay. So psyched. The moment has finally arrived. We have the lead singer of Foreigner. Whoa. Mr. Kelly Hansen. Come on, bring him on.
I can't believe it. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Wow, man.
I'm very happy to be here with you. You finally made the big time.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's true.
Thank you for your stamp of approval by your presence here.
I have to say, lots of fans have been chiming. The fans that do chime in regarding these, where's Kelly? When's Kelly coming on? Where's Kelly? We've gotten a lot of, and as we get some fans from South America too, where the English, the grammatical part of thing is more rudimentary. So, Kelly, Kelly is where, and
yes,
when Kelly,
sure,
yeah. And we love their.
You get the gist. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
They make themselves understood. They get their point across. Well, much to their delight. Here you are.
Yeah.
So, man,
listen? I've been sitting here listening to you guys yabber on, and I need a decision made because I want you guys to make the choice. All right.
Okay.
So we have either.
Whoa! That's a winner. That's a winner. AleSmith Nut Brown Ale. That's a winner.
Or
what? Oh, Founders Porter. Oh, wow.
Dude, you know what? Can I just say, I feel like let's get our three-way dark on. Like
what's a dark on?
A dark on. Well, I'll let you decide.
So which one do I do?
I mean,
go ahead.
Oh, man, I love them both. I have a vote in mind. It's going to break my heart to not choose the other one, but I do have a vote.
Okay. You know what though? I like the way you do business, man. Let's move over to the other one. Like, I was going to say the Founders, but let's do the other guy.
I was going to say the Founders because it breaks my heart not to do the AleSmith Nut Brown Ale because that was one of my favorites. But
we got Browns, yeah.
I want to drag Kelly into that Porterville, man.
Founders is this is okay for you guys. For a lot of you guys that don't know Kelly and don't hang out on the bus with him, which I imagine is most of the people watching. Bruce and I have the good fortune of hanging out on the bus after gigs with him.
Quite a head I got there.
He's not a big beer guy. I've seen Kelly do a nice light like a Kirin or a Sapporo with sushi or something, or maybe Mexican
Corona
food,
with
maybe
Mexican.
Corona with Mexican, which going with it, but he's not as nearly the enthusiast that
I'm a Pilsner drinker.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, this doesn't have to be beer. we got a V.I.B. Why don't we
Very
just
important-
why don't
very
we do
important
why don't we
booze.
do
Bourbon.
a little bit of
Very important bourbon.
very important bourbon.
Oh, man, let's talk about that for a second. What's up with that?
So this is the it's Alabama, right? And I think we visited these people, a bar that had 100 different bourbons, and they gave us a couple of bottles. And this, I believe, is the state bourbon of Alabama. So
Yeah.
I have I've been busy on the old lockdown. I have a little bit left. I'm just gonna just a couple of drops.
That goes
just
nice
to
with the
kind of-
porter. That's very nice
just
with the
kind
founder's
of
porter.
go back and forth. By the way, I do want to express the nuttiness and the chocolate and the caramel in this founders.
Yeah.
It's very nice. You know,
They do-
when I get into a deep beer that I have once or twice with you guys, some of those really heavy ones that have that heavy duty
Hoppy.
dark thing. Yeah, well, it's the chocolatey caramelly thing that
yeah,
really gets me.
Yeah, I noticed that
so-
I've actually remembered
cheers.
that those resonate with you. And
Cheers.
that you like them. Yeah,
Cheers,
cheers. Yes, look at
So,
that.
and while you're drinking, I think we should point out for the very few people that don't know that Kelly can speak about flavors, and he's a good. I like that he's not a beer enthusiast, but he can analyze flavor, because Kelly Hansen, for those few people who don't know, is a chopped champion. He didn't come in
That's
second
right.
place. He didn't come in second place. He won. Chopped
That's
champion.
right. That's
Rockstar
right.
Rockstar Chopped.
And incredibly enough, even though I don't remember what brand it was, there was beer in one of my rounds on Chopped that I used when I made my lamb T-bone with a coconut cream sauce. I used beer in my sauce. Yes, I did.
Yeah, I remember
Wow.
that. Hey,
Yeah.
now, is it correct that we were on tour with Kid Rock and that we watched that on a giant screen in a hotel lobby?
Yes, in Detroit.
Detroit.
What was it?
Yeah.
The
Right.
town?
Detroit,
that
right.
we were-
Not
yeah.
Troy. Was it Troy, Michigan?
No, I think it was
No,
Troy.
no,
I
it
think
was-
you're right. Oh,
No, it's
Yeah, there was a
what's
Embassy
that venue,
Suites.
that venue up north of Detroit. It's
Traverse
I-
City. Oh,
it's not Lake Charles. What is it? It's
Traverse City or
there was
no,
Traverse City.
that's Michigan. That's Michigan.
And weren't we all? We had everybody. We had the crew and the band. Everybody was in the lobby.
Yeah.
One of those big, spacious hotel indoor
Right.
kind of lobby
and
things.
Kelly didn't tell us. I mean, I think we kind of figured out that he won because he was pretty relaxed, but he didn't tell us that he won. So we were all there, and it's like,
Yeah, you had a
"He
pretty good
won!"
poker face. You had a pretty good poker face about that. I
You know,
have to say.
the funny thing is that we filmed that probably almost a year before it actually showed, because
Yeah.
that's how long it takes for them to do the post-production and the editing, because they have 1,000 cameras with 1,000 angles. And I remember I filmed it in February when it was like minus 20 or something in New York City. And then
Man.
we actually get to view it, and it was like July or something in the heat of the thick summer on tour with Kid Rock. And it was fun. And you know, we travel with a catering company on these summer production tours that we do with these package tours with other bands, and they were so nice, and they gave me an apron, and they
Right.
watched the show, and it was really great. It was fun, a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Man,
That was really good.
amazing. That was amazing, and we didn't. No, I'm just having a memory about you being pretty secretive about
Yeah.
about the outcome, and I think maybe we had a feeling about it, or I don't know how it was all rolled up. God, 'cause this was 14. Is that right? Was it
15.
15. Okay, right.
5 years.
It
ago.
was
Wow.
fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
amazing, and
gotta
that's been great for you. I mean, it's definitely opened some doors. I mean, you've so like not just being it's like Singing with Foreigner wasn't enough, but like the cooking thing, and you've met all these different chefs. You've like Chris Santos. We did that little
Yep.
private event for him.
Yep, Guy Fieri. I know a lot of people, and
It's opened up
it
some
really
stuff for
it has
you.
been great. It's opened the door for me to go to have some really great food experiences during this whole pandemic. I've literally been cooking in my kitchen every day,
Every day. Yep.
experimenting, coming up with different stuff, having a good time. I sent a picture to who was it? Michael Simon, Chef Michael Simon has been doing these great Instagram. He's been every day he's going on in his kitchen and he's making a dish and he's walking everyone through it, showing them all the steps. He posts a recipe. So I was telling him how great it was, and I sent him a picture of what I made that night, and I said, "Yeah, dinner for one for the last 5 weeks."
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, I think in the silver lining in all this. I mean, especially for you being such a food guy and being such an enthusiast about it. I mean, think about all this extra time. I mean, you love cooking, you love the creativity of that, and it's sort of like you've got this blank canvas, and you get all this time, to just kind of mess around and try new things. And
to give you a little insight, I have like a couple of projects going right now. I have this little hothouse thing where I can grow microgreens, right? Ooh. And so right now I'm trying to grow coriander, which will be cilantro. Yep. And then I'm making a sourdough starter. I'm on my 5th day of making my own sourdough starter yeast.
That's insane.
From just flour and water. Just planted some live herbs. They're in the house now, and I'm waiting for them to get strong, and then I'll take them outside, which I've created a planter outside. And then did you know that if you take a stalk of celery and you cut off the bottom 3 or 4 inches and put that in a glass of water, it will start growing a new stalk of celery. And when it gets to about this high, you can transplant it and it'll grow a whole new stalk of celery. You don't have to buy celery anymore. It's crazy. So I'm working on all these projects right now. Yeah.
That I see a crossover between your fascination with those kind of processes, and I think the way Michael and I got fascinated with the process of beer, becoming beer from water, barley, yeast, and hops. And you don't even need the yeast, man. You can show up with water, barley, and hops, and nature will take over, and the yeast will arrive from the environment.
Sure.
That's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing.
It's so fascinating.
I went on YouTube, and there's this Irish guy. I don't know what his name is, but he does a great tutorial, and basically says, bacteria is in the air. It's all around us.
Yeah.
So just mix together flour and water and let it set. It will start to grow just out of what's there. So by day 7 to 10, you will have your own sourdough starter. You can make pizza dough. You can make bread, sourdough bread. You can do all that kind of stuff. It's crazy because I tried to go to the grocery store to get yeast because I wanted to make pizza and bread and stuff like that during what we're going through. And my store near me has not had yeast for a month.
Yeah.
Whoa.
A month.
Wild. And the cool thing about that is that yeast naturally is reflective of the environment that you live in. So if you live in Southern California like we do, it's a yeast that it will have the character of this region. If for instance with beers, the famous farmhouse beers from Belgium.
I was thinking about that.
I'm going to have Sunset Strip yeast in my. Is that what you're saying?
Oh God.
Imagine Sunset Strip yeast from the 80s.
The 80s call, yeah.
Wow, it would have grown in a day. It would have been done in a day.
No, that all grew at night, and most of it was grown around near the rainbow, I think, on the Sunset.
Hey, does anybody watching not know that Kelly Hansen, long before he was the singer of Foreigner, was the singer of another band of which he was a founding member, Hurricane?
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
That's why they call him the Hurricane. There's a Bob Dylan song.
I actually was there to witness all of the debauchery in the late 70s and 80s.
But you didn't participate in any. You witnessed. You didn't participate.
No. I was just. I'm more mentally documented for posterity or for prosperity.
Inside joke.
Another story we have to tell. But it was. The Sunset Strip has gone through these cycles because back in the 60s it was a big thing, and there was Gazzari's, and there was the whiskey, and there was the Roxy, and there was the Rainbow and all this stuff. Then it went through a down period. Then when heavy metal came again, it experienced this complete resurgence where every night it was packed with people with hair up to here.
Oh my God!
Loud music and
the chicks.
It just the guys, the chicks, everything. It was out of control. Out of control.
Did you guys have you guys seen that documentary on the Rainbow yet?
No.
No. You got to check it out. It's it takes you back to the Rainbow. So the guy that I'm forgetting the guy's name right now, but that took over the Rainbow was like an Italian restaurant actually for a while before it actually became the Rainbow.
It still is.
And it still is. And the guy who started it, he was from the whiskey. So there was a connection between those two, and it's on Amazon Prime. If you guys have Amazon Prime, it's a really good. Both of you guys would super enjoy this documentary. Yeah, it's really, and it takes it, all the way back, and of course you got Ron Jeremy in there, and you've got
he's still in there.
A lot of cameos. Oh yeah.
So
the whole Lemmy story, and all that. Yeah,
so I'm at Gazzari's. I'm at Gazzari's on the Sunset Strip, which is no more. Yeah. But I'm there with a friend of mine. I won't mention his name. And you have to remember, this was a period of time where things were different. And so I met this young lady who seemed to be up for a good time. Right on. And so my friend and I, there was the configuration of the Gazzari's changed many times over the years. How many stages, how many rooms there were, it just had a whole different vibe. Well, there was a bathroom downstairs where you could just kind of go in there, kind of off the side of the bar. So I'm in the bathroom making out with this girl, and my friend is there helping out. And all of a sudden, the door opens, and it's Ron Jeremy.
And he's like, let me help you out. Let me show you how to do that.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, he said, "Oh, pardon me," and he closed the door.
What a gentleman!
God bless.
Who knew?
So nice of him.
Who knew?
So nice.
What year was that, do you think?
19.
Okay, great. 18 what?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's so good.
It was probably it was the early 80s. Yeah. By the way, I have to say, Bruce, I do like the lights and everything behind your presentation here. It looks great. But I have to say that when I see it, what I hear is
oh yeah? Well, talk about presentation.
Yeah, where's mine? Where's mine?
Well, now you earned it. Unless you blow it. You have 10 more minutes to blow it.
We got a good middle-aged belly shot when you got that.
Yeah.
It was riding up a little bit. You know what? Let me. I'm gonna ride it up a little bit too.
Bring it
up. There's that road to happiness right there.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been out walking about it.
You know what? I have a friend who calls that the hairway to heaven.
A friend.
There's a lady who show all that glitters is her suit.
Yeah. And she climbing that hairway to heaven.
Kelly, 2 questions.
Yes.
How is that Founder's beer treating you after 10 minutes? It's warming up, so it should be getting bigger.
I have to say, it's just my normal nature is to use beer as a washing down of food.
Yeah.
This beer you do not use for that purpose.
No.
So I have to end up kind of sipping this more because it's so heavy duty.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't enjoy it, but it's a sipping thing. It's not a.
For sure.
But I have to say, I mean, all of my mother's side of the family comes from Ireland, and I have been to Dublin with my relatives.
Oh, man.
Been there when the Guinness just goes whoop, and then another one, and a whoop, and another one, and a whoop. And I go, where do you put it? Where are you putting it?
Yeah.
I got to get in these size 28s. I can't behave like that.
Guinness, the silky smoothness of Guinness. It can be a slippery, dangerous slope because
drinkable.
It's just.
Did we all go to the Guinness Brewery together? Did we
did.
That?
Yes, we did. Yes.
So great.
That was
so great.
The perfect pint.
We got a special private tour. They taught us how to make the perfect pour. They showed us. It's a 6-step process in order to make the perfect pour.
Look how we did that so naturally. We didn't even.
Michael, are you left? Wait. Oh, okay. The screens are.
Am I reversed? It looks like I'm left.
Hold on. What am I doing? What's going on?
Oh, you're being professional. Wait. What's on?
Yeah.
There's a problem with that left glass.
All I have is that, so I'm just gonna put that there.
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to do the.
I have a loop video of you doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bruce, you let some go.
A boomerang.
Listen.
You just
So for those of you at home, even if you've done it 100 times, which I probably have, if you do it with a full glass, you're risking. If you do it with too much exuberance, you're risking a spill. And if you spill, it's no big deal, but that is a fact. And can I just share what I'm drinking because I moved on from the dark stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, you moved on.
Yeah.
You
This
did
is
that
from
so quickly.
Russian
I didn't
River,
even
man.
see you move on. Oh.
This
Oh, the pills.
Again, every show we've done, I think I've had something from Russian River, which is up in Northern California.
Yeah, we need to get with those guys.
Runs
Those
right
are
through
good stuff.
Sacramento, yeah.
It's so everything they have is super unbelievable.
That reminds me of the STP logo. That's what
I know.
Totally.
That's what I was thinking. I
Totally.
was totally
Yeah.
trying to spin that.
Which
in my
reminds
mind.
me of Stone Temple Pilots.
Well, okay.
Brings it back around to music again.
Yeah, it does. Kelly, not only are you a Chop champion and the singer
Yes.
Foreigner, and a super
And I've made you dinner.
yeah, you have.
Did you come over for
Dude, I was over, Kelly, I was
Yeah.
over for a pizza night once with
a
you.
pizza night? So
Pizza
we had a
night.
pizza night where what I had everyone come over, and I made pizza dough from scratch, and I made sauce from scratch. And what I did was I set it up so that everyone had to make their own pizza. So I instructed everybody how to roll their own dough and how to build their own. I had 20 different kinds of toppings, and we had a really great time. That was a really nice night.
That was a great night, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
I
that
can't wait till
pizza-
we get back to be able to doing that kind of thing again.
Yeah.
That pizza oven, man. You get that thing outside, right? Out on the patio there.
I got the barbecue, I got the oven, I got the thing, I got the thing.
Man.
But I don't have a dedicated pizza oven because I thought about putting one in, and I go, okay, what? I'm going to use that 2 times a year, 3 times a year.
Right,
What am I going to do? I could sterilize stuff in there. What else?
Well,
But
you
that
could burn
crust.
you could burn the bodies of rodents that you've killed on your property.
Sure.
That might be not.
Exactly.
It could be a topping,
Sure. A little lizard, a little
A
fried lizard.
ratatorium. Hey, but listen,
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
you can't know Kelly Hansen unless you know about what he does with motorcycles.
Ooh,
Right. So-
that's a good segue. You've
Yeah,
been working on
yeah,
a bike.
right.
You've been working
So,
on a yeah.
Yeah. So, more than 12 years ago, I was given a gift of this Yamaha FZR 1000 by a really good friend of mine. He's a championship race car driver named John Paul Jr., who is now suffering with Huntington's disease, and a good friend of the family. And he told me I can't ride this bike anymore, so he gave it to me.
Wow.
And I had the bike, and I rode it a little bit, but because it has 4 carburetors and a lot of tiny passageways, the fuel, if you didn't run it often enough, the fuel would varnish in there and get gummy and wouldn't run. And so I couldn't keep it running, so it sat for many, many years. And I decided that I was gonna get rid of it. I was gonna sell it or give it away or whatever. Then I decided, wait a minute, let me try to make this a project, because I need, as you may or may not know, we tour 8 months or so of the year, and I feel that it's personally valuable for us to have another interest that takes another part of your brain when you're off the road, so that you can maintain balance and give that the road side of your brain a rest and go to this different place. And I decided to do it with taking this bike that hadn't run for over 10 years and bring it back to life. And so now, since we had to leave touring on March 12th in Minnesota, I think that's where it was.
We flew back
we've
on
been-
Friday
we-
the 13th of March 13th.
We
I
flew
remember.
home in March. So I decided what I was thinking, I was going to have this bike finished maybe by the end of the year. But because we came home, I decided to attack this as a project so that I could have something to do with my time and something to fill those hours. And so I spent a lot of time, a lot of hours going through this bike. I bought a camera to look down into the cylinder so I could see if there was anything wrong.
Wow.
I had to change out the oil in the radiator, and I had to take all the body pieces off the bike and sand them and fix all the cracks and the dents and all that kind of stuff, and go through all of the clutch and the brakes and all that kind of thing, put it all back together. And just yesterday, I was able to take the bike out for a test drive on the 101 freeway in Los Angeles, where I
Amazing.
went through all 5 gears and got to 85 miles an hour in like 3 seconds.
And so it ran perfectly.
It ran really, really well, surprisingly.
Amazing.
But it's been a process. I've been working on this since probably seriously since middle to late last year. But now that we had this condensed time at home, I was able to I was able to do it. And
I was struck
wow,
by
it's just crazy because I have a 1995 Harley Heritage Softail, which is a great bike, and I love riding that bike. But this is a completely different dimension. It's another world. Riding style, how you operate, how you turn it, manipulate it. It's completely different. And
Yeah.
but something fun to do while we're going through this.
amazing. And how often, I was struck by, you said, you had your goal to have it done by the end. How often do projects like that happen ahead of schedule? You
Yeah.
finished it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Right.
always like, yeah, I'm gonna hope it, yeah, sure, it'll get done by then. Here you are in April, and it's already, So there's a silver lining there. You got this great bike.
I have
yourself,
it. It's in matte. It's the whole bike is in matte black right now. But eventually, what I want to do is I want to put like one of those Porsche putty colors on it. It's kind of this color of this putty. But as of right now, it looks very Mad Max, all black, all matte, and it's
Love it.
stealthy. Yeah.
Love it, man. Love it.
So cool. So
Kelly,
cool.
what's there's a guitar behind you. What's going on? Is any music percolating in your brain or in your?
So what I have behind me here is a Babbage Jumbo.
Nobody
and,
knows you play guitar, bro. Nobody knows.
And I don't really. But
So you say.
I have been trying
Yeah,
to
you do.
spend a few minutes every day, just kind of
Great.
See?
I just changed the strings, and what I did do is I kind of made an adjustment on the truss rod, which is
Look at the big brains,
here.
Kelly. Yeah.
But the thing is, I went too far. I have to back it off because there's a
Oh.
little bit of a rattle. There's a
Too
rattle in
fast.
some of the strings.
Yeah,
More of a bow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hear that?
Yeah.
So I have to go back and fix that. But
Yeah.
changed all the strings, do a little
Yeah.
action work.
You're
Yeah.
reminding
We
me.
have time to kill, so we have
I
things
know.
to do
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm so lazy about changing strings, man. There's a couple acoustics that I really could stand to change. It's just
Yeah.
like,
I can tell you. Well, I can tell you that for sure. As I look around my room, there are 5 guitars that haven't had their string changed in over 10 years. But
really, and
That's
you're
not
still using those.
well, I do sometimes because sometimes it's not. Once it settles in, and
Yeah.
it's the right guitar, you don't want that shingy, bright, crispy sound of new strings. It's nice to have all that high end rolled off, and as long as they're hanging in tune.
How I
have-
compensate for that is I have strings in a box that are more than 10 years old.
You got strings in a box.
I was gonna say to your point, Bruce. The Seagull, which is not a high end guitar at all. I probably bought this 10 years ago. I think not a high, but it stays in tune, man. I haven't changed the strings in a while. I don't want to. It's like it's perfect.
Don't do it.
I pick the thing up and it's just in tune all the time,
Yeah.
and it plays great.
Can I tell you a little story? I was on my first tour with Hurricane, which happened to be a Northern California tour opening for Rick Springfield.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Rick Derringer. Sorry.
Oh wow.
Opening for Rick Derringer, and very exciting for us. First time getting out of the road, playing with the band, and we were playing in a city called Hanford, California.
Yeah.
I know.
Which
Yeah, I
which
kinda know where
which
that
I at the time there was a real sulfur issue. Like, it was a sulfur mining town, and the hotel I stayed at had it was a cheap hotel. And when I went to wash my face and I turned on the water and I scooped up the water, and it right about I was gonna put it on my skin, I went, holy shit, that's rotten eggs.
Oh.
Right in the
Because
water.
because of the mining there. So anyways, so we're on tour with Rick Derringer, and I happened to be at the gig, and he had a new tech that day, a new guitar tech. So I sat and watched him show his tech how to string a guitar, and to this day, I still string a guitar the exact same way. Incredibly simple way to string a guitar, incredibly effective, no slippage, works perfectly, and I always think fondly back to that.
I need that little class because I do it so infrequently that when I finally do go to change them again, I'm like, how did I do? And I always get there, of course, and change them in their time, but it's always like, whereas our techs that are doing this thing
Right.
every day, they're just so fast. Boom,
Such a great job. And by the way, speaking of techs, I want to talk to
Yeah.
everybody about
Yeah. Let's do it.
a man who has been working on our crew for
Oh.
14 years. His name is Ed Fitzwater, and he's really my guy.
Yeah.
Not only is he's the carpenter, and I think he's the stage manager, but he takes care of me during the show. When I come off stage between songs, he's there with a drink and a towel and everything that I need. He has little pretzels for me. We've gone through eras where I had mashed potatoes, or I had chocolate chip cookies, or I had all kinds of stuff. And has been there for me. He's the hardest working guy.
Yes.
And we just found out today that he had a hopefully small stroke, and we are totally rooting for you, Eddie. We love you.
Yes.
And I know he's going to be okay. And his wife, Jennifer, texted me, and she seems to be in good spirits, but we really are thinking about our longtime pal and great worker, Ed Fitzgerald.
Man,
Ed Fitzwater, sorry. It's the beer kicking in. Beer kicking in.
It's Gerald Fitzpatrick or Patrick Fitzgerald. I don't know.
Yeah. It's the Edmund
Eddie,
Fitzgerald. That's what I was thinking about.
the wreck of the Eddie Fitzwater. Yeah. No,
but Ed, he's such a great guy.
Oh,
and I know he'll be fine. We love you, Eddie.
I know Michael. He served you personally in so many ways, and he was my guitar tech for a while.
He teched my keyboards for a little
bit. Yeah, right.
Guitars, yeah.
I mean, he's just like.
And you had guitars like crazy in tune. You loved the way he tuned guitars.
Yes, no, he's brilliant.
That's right. And I remember you remarking that no one could quite tune him like Eddie.
And there's I don't know anybody among the crew or any crew of a rock band where unanimous opinion of everybody in the crew would say that guy's the hardest working dude. He's the greatest guy. And everyone in our crew says Eddie's the greatest guy. Eddie's the hardest working guy.
And we know we have a great crew, a bunch of people. We've been together a long time, most of us, and I mean, how lucky are we to be playing a great catalog of songs out there with great people, great crew, super skilled from top to bottom. It's just a really fortunate place to be. I mean, who would have thought when you were 16 or whatever, and you're going to get into music, that you would end up being able to do what we're doing right now. It's really, really amazing.
It makes our job so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's to cheers to all that.
All those guys.
All you guys. Yep.
The rock crew guys.
Big shout out to Eddie, and cheers to us getting them.